Hello and welcome to a review of the LEGO Dream Set Mr. Oz's Space Car. This was released in 2024, and I think it's a good set, another good LEGO Dream set, but nothing too crazy. Now, the way I acquired the set is kind of funny. So this set, I think, if I remember correctly, retailed for $30 US, which, it's not great, it's fine. It's standard LEGO pricing, a little bit above what you'd expect. But then from what I've seen, it's kind of been, in most retailers, it's been discounted to $24, which, that's a little closer to like what I'd say is like a pretty good deal for this. But then even that wasn't enough. And now it's been discounted to $16. And that's when I swoop in to get it because, I like LEGO Dreams. Like I want a lot of the sets. I think they're interesting. I like talking about them. So I thought I'd get it. And yeah, this set was part of the January wave, which was a little bit of a small wave. It kind of seems like the Dreams theme now that we know what the next theme is the next wave is gonna be like for 2025. It's kind of like in January you get the smaller sets, and in summer you get the larger sets. So this is definitely one of the smaller sets, and I think it does that job well. I like this set. I think it's a good little piece of Lego space. I think the elements of the the real world elements and the fantastical elements mix a lot better than they did in the school bus set. I don't own that set, although I would like to get it. But the way it's that the school bus is just like this slice of the spaceship rather than being integrated into more parts of it really bothered me and kind of hurt the set because I really like the actual design of it. It gave me Life on Mars vibes, to be honest. Like it looks a lot very similar to the Solar Explorer, and this one doesn't really remind me of Life on Mars like that other one. It reminds me more of Futron, specifically. Black and white is like the Futron color scheme. These big plastic wheels remind me of the kind of chunky thing. Maybe Blacktron too, a little bit of influence there too, but definitely space-esque. And I don't know. I think the color blocking, even though it is the same deal where it's like, it's all in this one part, I think it is better. But let's take a closer look at some of the details. First, let's start with the side builds because there's something. This is a platform, which the monkey character, I forget his name, it probably says in the box, Albert, can ride around. Very simple stuff. Honestly, though, I think they missed a huge opportunity. Maybe not a huge opportunity, but there is basically no way to connect this wheel thing to the spaceship. So it kind of is like this useless, it's this useless side build with like the extra pieces they had left over. And it really easily, like with like a few pieces, it could have been like a stand for the set. It's like one complete model. And you could have just had it as like, oh, if you want, you can have them separated, but you can also have it all be one thing. Because this is definitely a very complete looking model. I like it as itself. But like this is just like junk. Like it's like we don't need this. This just distracts from like the set. Like if you display the set, you have to have this thing next to it. Like I don't know, man. You just toss it. But that's that's whatever. The other side build is this brain thing, and I think it's actually super well designed. I think the nightmare creatures, like the more and more I see of them, the more I think that they're one of the highlights of the series. Just this eyepiece, the translucent pink coloring, which is a little bit unique because it's, originally a Belleville-esque girl color, but being used in this villainous context is perfect, and we get so many great pieces in it. And this theme, the brain print, like, that's wonderful. Like, come on. It would be cool if it was translucent pink as well, but I still think it's good. And it doesn't take up that many pieces, and if you need there to be combat in a box, then, you need there to be combat in a box, and this is a great little thing to include. And it interacts with the set quite well. Kind of reminds me of the relationship that dinosaurs have with the vehicles in Dino Island, where they're pretty ancillary, but there are like some like slight things that interact with each other that does make them kind of worth it. For this set in particular, the way this guy interacts is that there is a big claw that can catch him, and he, with his like little tentacles or whatever these are, he can carry this kid, Jaden, and it works pretty well. Like, I don't know, that's like a pretty complete integration, and both builds have this claw, so it's definitely an integral feature to the whole thing, and it kind of influences the play pattern. Another thing that influences the play pattern is the actual build process. So like most Lego Dream sets go, you sort of build like a base model and then you add on stuff to it. And the way it goes in this set is actually pretty interesting because it's not this, because not only do you build like a different style, like it goes from something that's very, not very normal, but pretty typical, sports car, to, the space elements that are a lot more fantastical. But the space elements are almost entirely Technic based. So it does create an interesting experience where you're building like very typical, like, race car stuff. You've got a lot of the little slopes, Speed Champion style. It's got the 8 wide base, or 6 wide base. I can't count. However many 8 wide base. I think it's 8. Let's count. It's 8 wide base. So you're building that, and it's like very, typical car stuff. But then the final bag comes, and it's mostly like Technic, and that's definitely like an interesting way to do the whole like choose your own adventure kind of thing, because it really does make it feel like this is something extra or different. Because not only are there colors that are included only in this extra model, not extra model, but they're only included in the complete model. Like it adds white to the whole thing, because before, trying to take it apart while talking, it's basically just this with wheels. And while they're, you add the white to it, which kind of completes the model in terms of the color scheme. It's just interesting. I don't know. I like that. I like that these Lego Dream sets, at least like most of them, seem to take the idea of like this last part of the building experience being different seriously, and really switch things up in a way that's, pretty noticeable, or at least to me, because I'm I pay attention to this kind of thing. The actual car itself, let's just take a look at the details. This sticker, oh my god, that doesn't match at all. It looks more like the new orange color that they introduced in 2024 than it does this yellowish pencil orange. The flow of it's pretty good. I do love this piece. Like, the opalescent satin, one of my favorite gimmicks that they've put into pieces. It just looks great. My copy of it isn't very scratched, which is awesome. And the way it fits onto here is pretty good. That flow between, the pieces is wonderful. I will say, actually putting it back on is a little tricky, because sometimes it gets caught up on this lip right here. But, it's not too bad. The inside, interesting enough, is all tan. I guess going with the pencil motif. Why does this guy's sets have like a pencil motif? Isn't that supposed to be the Mateo character's thing? Honestly, that kind of bothers me, because I think it's not the best. It's a little tacky. Now that I have them all to show, let's take a quick look at the minifigures. First, we've got Mr. Oz. He is all right. He's got golden stuff. Let me take off the armor piece from, I think that's a collectible minifigures one that they've used for a while. Mr. Oz, I think, is a good figure. His suit kind of looks like an Iron Man suit, which is a little like whatever. Decent printing. Honestly, though, for being all gold, he doesn't have enough bits that are more metallic-y, I guess. There's like a slight sheen if you look at it at the right light. His face print, the mustache, that's what I would be looking for. Like, that looks wonderful. I think it's an amazing detail that it's like all metallic-y, because, it really adds to like the robotic steampunk feeling. But then the rest of it's just kind of like Iron Man. It's like whatever. It's going to be covered up by this pearl gold piece anyways, which has a nice print that you do get 2 of, which with one of the hourglass symbols. So he's kind of he's a good figure. There's a lot of good aspects to him, but I wouldn't say I love the design. I do like his weird hairpiece. I don't know if this is new. It must be, with the mustache, similar to the hobo one whatever it was. There was like some sort of similar beard hair combo. But yeah, he's all right. And then we have Jaden, who's the kid. I don't like him. He appears in like, I already have him from another one of the sets I got, the Z-Blob mech. He's very similar. I don't know, he's just not that great of a figure. I guess they need someone for you to capture, but do they? I wish they did like the thing that themes like Agents did, where they just make like more, you know, it doesn't have to be a character, it's just like some random civilian, because then you can get more variety in terms of like the design, because like, I don't know, I don't really care about this kid. I don't need more than one of him, like very much so. And the last character you get is Albert the Monkey. He is one of the little Dreamling weird new figures. He has this dome piece, or this space helmet piece. I don't know if this is, it's probably not new. It fits on Mr. Oz too, which is nice. So that's a, you know, it's a nice piece. It reminds me of Sandy. It's like a better version of Sandy's dome piece from SpongeBob. And I think I hope it's used for a while, because I think it's a pretty versatile piece. His printing's all right, you know. I do like how the Dreamzzz figures have, like, how he has like a normal head that can be fit on any other figure. They're all great. They're a nice little addition. I'd say as like a sidekick it works. He has a wrench, and he has some specific places in the build where it seems right for him to hang out. Yeah, so those are all the figures. I'd say like a huge problem with modern Lego sets is figure bloat. Like, it seems like a lot of these sets don't have the best value, but as an actual set, when you just look at it, but then you like see that there's like 5 figures and you're like, okay, sure. But it's like, do we really need all of these figures? Because I don't know, man, minifigures just aren't like what I go to Lego for the most part. And getting so many of them, while it does make the set like a little more interesting, like in the long run, it's not, you know, I'm not going to be thinking about the figures. I'm going to be thinking about the set on my shelf or wherever it is. And, you know, this kind of stuff doesn't really add to it. It detracts from it because it makes it so that these sets aren't as good of a value as they could be. And maybe that's just a me thing. I don't know. I know a lot of people love figures. They want all the characters. There's all these different, you know, they designed all these characters. You might as well have to use them. But they're just not, I don't know, they're just not my thing, I guess. Oh, I messed up. Or did I? I'm trying to put this thing together, but I was not really paying attention when I took it apart, so I guess, well, you'll watch me struggle. So this set, I like the play pattern. Oh, actually, one interesting thing about the bottom of this. This is the new orange color. It's a nice little inclusion to just have it in there. Nothing really major. It's not a, you know, it's nothing mind-blowing. It's just like, oh, there it is. It's squirreled away in the bottom. But I do like that it's included because I don't think I have any pieces of it. So definitely a unique addition to my collection. Yeah. Yeah. This set's good. I think it suffers from a lot of the problems other Dream sets suffer, where like the price is just a little bit off, and that makes it so, you know, no one cares about this set, and it just sticks on shelves for years and, not years and years, but way longer than it really should. And it, you know, goes on clearance, and here we are. And yeah, and it has good elements to it, but I think the alternate build approach honestly kind of detracts from the set in some ways. Not in terms of like the design as much, because visually I think they found a way to make it work, but in terms of like playability, this set isn't that bad of an example of it because we have this great arm. I guess I could go over the other play features, but I'll finish this rambling before. Because when you have to do multiple different builds, it kind of lowers the potential for weird play features and other gimmicks that kind of define a lot of my favorite non-licensed themes. Because they kind of has to be versatile, you know? It's more like, you know, sets from the 80s or 90s or early 90s, where like, they're more or less just designs. There might be a few small gimmicks, but it's more about the actual set itself and like the visuals of it. And you shouldn't expect too much more. I mean, sometimes there's more and that's great. But because of the fact that they need to have these different builds and they're like an important part of it, you know, you don't want one to have a gimmick and the others to not have the gimmick. So it kind of hampers what you can do with the alt builds and the effects of it, especially when it's a smaller set like this. And it kind of makes it so you have random inclusions. They're just like, whatever, like, you know, I like this, but this is nothing. So we don't need that. And it just, I don't know, I feel like they could have, wasn't the right approach for this, because it just kind of, the price, you know, the newness of it, the fact that like there's not, besides there being alternate builds, there's like not an enticing enough gimmick for like normal people to be into this. And I don't know, I think it just led to like this not doing well, because it's like they're putting so much into this set they're putting so many different design elements and ideas into these sets. And even if all of the design elements are good, there's just not enough of any one of them for like it to be anyone's favorite thing. You know, there's something for everyone, but there's nothing, you know, but most of these sets won't be anyone's favorite, you know? Jack of all trades, master of none is how I describe this theme. And the thing that sucks to me about the Dreamzzz theme is in trying to appeal to everyone, they've created a theme that, unlike most modern Lego themes, does actually appeal to me. I do like these sets. There is a lot to love about them, even if they're not perfect. And it's just unfortunate that, like, you know, all this random experimentation, like, it feels like it's not going to go anywhere because, you know, these sets haven't sold well, and who knows how long it's going to be when Dreamzzz is canceled that we'll get another original theme. It could be another 2 or 3 years, and will it be another focused, tested, like, safe attempt at, like, trying to capture the magic of a Ninjago, or will it be something different? Like, I don't know. It's just kind of a bummer because I feel like it just doesn't all come together, you know? Okay, I guess I'll look at the actual set now. The top has this rotating element with the claw that has a lot of nice articulation. I will say something that annoys me about the claw is that the weight of actually putting stuff in it does make it kind of sag a little bit, and that would be fine, but like it's just like when the claw is like posed perfectly, you know, when you have like these very like these sharp edges, these corners to it, it looks really interesting and adds to the silhouette of the set, but it just sags. It's like, man, like it's so close. It's so close to being this great addition, but it's still good, but it's not perfect. You can also see that there's an interesting sticker here, this like little space panel. I do like that, it's a unique one. You also have a Dreamzzz decal and a gold gradient decal that I don't think looks the best, but it's fine. You have these wheels, that's the turbine wheels that spin like this. I do like them. It does feel like the set's kind of crowded with them. Maybe there's too many, but I still think it's good. Yeah, I guess that's all there is to say. It says Dreamzzz there. Cool. That's all there is to say about this model. The car itself, you guys know what I feel. I wish it was integrated better. Taking a look at the box. Oh no, why is it all yellow? Actually, let me turn this off. Nope, that didn't help. What if I turn this off? That didn't help, whatever. Yeah, the box art for these Dreamzzz sets is quite good, actually. I think it has some of the best box art design of modern Lego sets. The deep blue definitely adds a eye-popping contrast. This does have the space banner, which is interesting. Dreamzzz being part of like the whole space sub-theme it's a nice inclusion. They get to be included. It's nice. I don't know what I'm even saying. Also a nice dynamic like pose too. Like I do think this is good box art. Yeah, if we look at the side, Lego space. I do like how the spines of a lot of Ninjago and Dreamzzz sets have like a nice little character on them. I bet a collection of a bunch of these $20 box size, $20 sized boxes with these would look pretty good together. In the back, we get to see the alternate build and I guess a better image of what the car looks like when it's normal. Yeah, the other build, I do like it. I do like it. I was actually thinking of keeping it as that one because I built that one first just to get a feel for it. The spaceship, like, I guess there's more pieces in it, but it feels even more just like whatever because it's like, where are you supposed to put this thing? I guess they do have, and it's interesting, I guess they show the feature that on this one you can put the little turret on there to kind of, I guess, make it more interesting. I guess more of a rover, that's what transforms it into. But I personally like this part in there because I'd rather have one complete thing than one mostly complete thing with like some random thing like that. Yeah, I think that this build is also pretty good. Nice stuff. Let's take a look at the instructions that are in here. Sorry if I'm all over the place, man. I don't know what's up with me today. Yeah, the instruction. Let's take a look down here. Lego Dreamzzz sets, as usual, have some pretty nice illustrations. The actual cover of this is stronger than the material of other lower instructions from like other sets I've seen, so that's nice. This feels very complete in a way that Lego instructions don't always feel complete nowadays. I also really like seeing like these builds, Lego builds, and like, as if they're like illustrations, especially with the car, seeing like the studs rounded off and like as if they're like, a real physical object. It's cool, but it's also funny that like it kind of canonizes the first build as like the real one or whatever. Some ad for the Lego Builder. This image that's at the front, back one. I do also the color coding I like a lot about these sets. We got this kid. Look at him go. He's about to be killed by a bunch of crazy nightmare creatures. Jaden, watch out. Nice. He's all tentacleized. I guess that's... He doesn't really look like that. I don't know. I think he looks cooler. He's like... I guess this one's very much like a blob-esque form and less like robotic, which is what I see the other one as. Mr. Oz. You see the rocket there, which is a nice little reference. Actually, I wonder if this would also become a space set event, or like a Lego Dreamzzz space set eventually. The instructions are fine. The build process of the base car is, it's all right. I do like this. He's putting it all together, all the cool bits. Yeah, normal stuff. And there we go. That's a nice shot of it. I like how the tires are very animated, the way they, they recess into the inside. You got Albert and the two builds. Right there. Yeah. Got this nice image. Actually, that's just the image on the front, which is kind of funny without the background. The monkey for the other one. Yeah. This is actually a more dynamic image. It's kind of funny because the other ones, I guess the other one's made for the cover art, so this one can kind of obscure the look of it a little bit. And then we have an ad for the Dream sets of the January wave. Gosh, I'm not trying to be mean, but like kind of a weak lineup. Like I like this set. This one is interesting, and I feel like I might warm up to it if I do get it, but like for $50, no way. This set, nah. This one doesn't have like any interior, it's an okay design, but especially for like $80 or $90, not the best. We have this nice Dreamzzz art and all the pieces in the back, Lego Wind. One critique for like the comic integration of these sets is that it doesn't really go anywhere. You have like this very simple scenario where the kid gets captured and then he gets saved, they build it up, but there's no like twists and turns to it. When you have the Lego like they did a similar thing in the Lego Star Wars instructions from the original wave, where like all the alternate builds would be like a different, they'd move the story forward. And this, it does move the story forward in terms of like adding stuff to it. Like first he drives there and then he flies to capture the thing, but it's just not dynamic enough. And the fact that there's two different endings that are interchangeable kind of makes it so it doesn't, it does feels like it doesn't go anywhere. It's more of a bonus than like an integral part of the experience, and you kind of have to look for it, and I guess that makes it more of an interspersed part of the experience and less like just kind of a bonus, like which a lot of the other comic integration in these Lego sets kind of was like, where it's like, okay, you do a little building, if you want you can read our little comic, but it's very skippable, but like it's kind of a part of the experience in terms of like reading through it and just flipping through the pages, But I don't know, I feel like it's a little bit off in execution and they could fine tune it a little bit. Maybe like there's an ultimate ending at the end or something. I don't know how you do that with different builds, but maybe just like something where it's just the characters. They could do something, I don't know. Or maybe they both come together, both of the builds come together in some way. Who knows? But I guess that's all there is to say about this set. I feel like this has gone on for way too long for such a simple set. I think I've just been disorganized today, but that's okay. Yeah, this is good, a good set. Lego Dreamzzz is a really interesting theme, and I'm sure I'll talk about more sets from it in the future. But that's all I have to say right now. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.